Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this next edition of Behind the Visual, where I interview those people responsible for all those videos and stills and all that kind of stuff you see out in the world every single day. I am, of course, your host, advertising and lifestyle photographer Mark Hansen. And today, my guest is Katie Buntsma. She is the senior, not center, she is the senior integrated producer at Mullen, Lowe, US. And she is actually living in Texas right now, but Mullen Lowe is in LA. So we'll see if she ends up staying there or having to move to LA. So that's still up in the air. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about how she got started. We talk about her love of the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise, that whole franchise. We talk about a 300-pound boulder that almost took out a set that they were shooting on and just came rolling down the hill. So definitely stick around to hear that one. We also talk about a shoot that she did where they had to have a satellite truck because there was no signal and they were having to shoot it remotely through Zoom. And so they were having to show their clients. So they had to get a satellite truck so they could upload everything to the client. So that's an interesting one as well. We talk about her first shoot, which was on a video game project doing the key art, and really just all kinds of stuff. We talk about Elon Musk for a little bit. We talk about doing CGI with car shoots, just kind of all over the place. And it was really fun. And I really enjoyed it. And I think you guys will too, especially that 300-pound boulder story. So stick around, listen to it all. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up it, like it, subscribe, comment, share it, all that kind of stuff. And I look forward to hearing what you guys think. Well, that's probably all right. How long have you been in Texas?
Yeah, I've been in Texas for, how long have I been there? 4 years? 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me, how'd you get from Iowa to ad agency life, living in Texas, now working for an LA agency, still living in Texas? How did all that happen? Or was this, were you like artistic as a kid and it turned into something, or did this one of these things where you went to school for biology to go pre-med and something clicked and you changed and turned into a producer?
No, I did not go to school for pre-med. I think I can name like 4 bones in the body. My mom, on the other hand, can. No, I grew up in a tiny town with 23 churches, 2 stoplights. Ziggy, no ma'am. Sorry, she sees the other dog. She's fine. It's the other dog. She doesn't like the other dogs. Thank you. So yeah, I grew up there, and I had a boyfriend in high school who went to college, well, out of high school, and he went to school out in Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach. Yeah. And I kind of just halfway through going to a very conservative Christian college in my hometown, 5 blocks away from my parents' house, decided I was more in love with taking photos than I was with studying psychology. So I followed him out to California and I went to Art Center College of Design. And from there, I figured out that I did not want to be my own business owner, and I really liked healthcare.
Yeah.
And
that is a good thing.
Yeah. So halfway through school, I did an internship at LA Magazine, and I just kind of started designing my major to get me to be a producer like Amy Feidelberg, because I really, I admired her a lot and I thought she was an amazing mentor. So I went in that direction, and I had a couple good mentors steer me towards advertising from that moment on, and got my first job at Team One. And then when Toyota and Lexus moved to Texas, I moved with them, with Toyota, and that's how I am in Texas.
Oh, okay. So how many churches did you say were in the town you grew up in?
23 about.
And 2 stoplights?
23, 2 stoplights,
Wow.
about 5,000 people on a good day.
That's a lot of churches for 5,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
it's quite a few.
Yeah. I live in
Um,
well, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I used to work at a comedy club. And one of the
oh
comedians
my
came in.
gosh.
I guess he had had time to screw around Charlotte and walk around and look around. He was like, Charlotte's an interesting place. He said, there is a church on one corner and a strip club on the next. I was like,
Oh,
okay. And he wasn't, at the time, he probably wasn't wrong. There were a lot of strip clubs and a lot of churches. Yeah.
well,
Probably more churches than strip clubs at this point now, I'm guessing.
you do something wrong on a Saturday and then you pray on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. There was literally on a drive. I used to go to Greensboro, which is about an hour and a half from here, quite a bit. And there used to be on my drive there off the highway interstate, there was a church in the same parking lot as a strip club. It was
Oh
literally the
my
exact
gosh.
same parking lot. And the strip club was right next door. And I mean, I figured, that way the people could go to the strip club and then just sleep in their cars and then get up and just go to church
Yeah, exactly.
the next morning.
I just wish that there was a 24-hour donut shop along with that, because everybody likes donuts at all hours.
Damn.
The parishioners like donuts for
Yes.
their church services, and 2 a.m. people like donuts
That's a
for their
genius
after
idea.
hours activities. Yeah.
I wish I'd talked to you back then. I just started a donut shop in the parking lot, donut truck at least, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You could just go around. You can just make the round.
Yes, that's brilliant. Oh my God.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Hey, I saw that you were a photo editor at art department.
No, I was a photo editor at LA Magazine, and
Okay.
I did photo editing at my school newspaper, and I did photo editing for a lot of different publications when I was at Patina Restaurant Group.
All right. So you weren't at art department.
No,
Where the hell did I get that from?
I
Okay.
don't know.
I don't know where that came from. I wrote it on my notes, but obviously that was wrong.
Yeah, no, I was never at art department. I haven't done any repping. I've been told that I'd be good at it, mostly because I'm not great at selling myself, but I love selling other people. And I love selling other things to people. Like, I could tell you lots of good restaurants and breweries and things to do in Dallas and Los Angeles and all the other fun places I've been, but I'm not the best at selling myself.
Yeah, I get that. I
Which,
think that's why it's good to have, at least for me, it's good to have an agent, because I'm not the person to walk in the room and go, hey, I'm your photographer. Stop looking.
exactly.
There's no point in it.
Exactly. That's why, it's good to have good friends in good places.
Yes, absolutely. For sure. Do you
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of producers I think would be good art directors. Is that something you've even I mean, not art directors, producers would be good art reps, photographer reps.
Yeah, I'd consider being a rep sometime. Yeah, it was something like earlier in my career I think I never would have considered. But I think as I get older and I've been in the industry for longer, and I've seen some more of the changes, and especially more of the changes that have happened in and around COVID and et cetera, like, yeah, I think I would definitely consider going over to the rep side. I just, I'm curious to see the way in the space and the places that our industry continues to move.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
yeah, I think
definitely changed.
repping is one of those things that we don't know how it's gonna go and how it's gonna move, because people are becoming their own reps on Instagram, and there's a lot of different ways to find photographers now. It's not as solely gate kept by the reps.
Yeah.
So, but they're still one of your best resources for finding people and finding talent and finding a bunch of different resources.
Do you use Instagram much for photographers, to find photographers or directors?
Depending on the project, yes, I can use it. I do like using Instagram for showing the latest and greatest work,
Yeah.
because as you and I just discussed, my website is horribly updated. It is not well maintained, but my Instagram is much better maintained because it's also easier to maintain.
Oh yeah.
So it takes 5 seconds to update an Instagram. It takes several layers to update your website in several minutes. So that's one of the things that I think about consciously, and I've actually seen with several of the photographers. So
what kind of dog do you have?
I have a German short hair.
Okay.
She was horribly abused for the 2 years before I had her, and we've come to this coffee shop every day for a year and a half since the pandemic started.
Wow.
So yeah, it's usually never this busy. So I didn't think this would be that much of an issue. I've literally never seen it this busy. I think the world's opening back up.
Oh yeah.
And people are out and about. So
yeah, I used to be able to get out of my neighborhood so easy during the pandemic, during lockdown. And now starting at 3:30, I can't make a left. I have to go out the back entrance with the stoplight to get out of my neighborhood again. It's back to being just like normal. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I think people are like, all right, you're either vaccinated or you're not. And regardless of status, people are like back at it.
Yeah. How's that in Texas? Or at least where you are in Texas.
Yeah, like in my little corner, I know like we're at pretty much like 80-90% vaccination.
Yeah.
And I would hazard to say like we're at pretty much 100% vaccination, but I can't guarantee it.
Right.
And the places that like I pretty much only go to like 3 or 4 places, and so everywhere that I go I feel really, really safe. And it's a bunch of like liberal hippies,
yeah,
who hate our governor that we nicknamed Hot Wheels because
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, well, and it's a mean name, but he changed tort reform law, so he benefited from it, but now nobody else can. So, and that's how he gets a ton of his donations, is from all of these companies that massively benefit from the ways that he's changed the laws. But he still gets the reward from all the different things that he sued when he got hurt. So that's why you can call him a mean man, because he's a mean man. He's a bad man. So anyway,
it happens. There was a mayor in Charlotte, similar. He was a great mayor, and there's one time he did something that was voted down. It was putting in a big Coliseum arena, and he went ahead and did it anyway, and it ended up being really the best thing for the city, and it turned out okay, and I think everybody kind of forgave him. But then when he became governor, we were shooting, a lot of films were being shot in North Carolina, and he cut all the tax incentives, and it all dried up, almost immediately. And it was all because as soon as he became governor, he started playing that political game, and all these people wanted to get it out for whatever reason. And it just
Mm-hmm.
kind of went straight down the shitter.
Yeah, that's what happened in Texas too. There was a bunch of stuff being shot here, and Hot Wheels got rid of that tax incentive, and so all of the shooting that we were doing for a bunch of different stuff, Walking Dead included,
Yeah.
all went away, all dried up,
Yeah.
which is, just it's tough.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they take away the tax incentives, and take away the money that is coming in, and to take away all the jobs. But
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
doing it.
What are your thoughts on the IATSE?
I think they're doing it right. I think they
Right.
need to be changed. I've heard too many stories and too many people who are involved in the film industry, and they work long hours, and I don't think people, I get it. At the same time, you're trying to shoot and you're trying to get things done
Mhm.
as fast as possible because everybody doesn't have the budgets like they used to. I'm assuming even with, even though Netflix is trying to become its own studio or whatever, they're trying to crank out content. So I understand that, but at the same time, I don't think you can work people 14, 15, 16-hour days or more consistently over and over again. And the way I
Yeah.
understand it is there's supposed to be a 12-hour break between. So say you
Mhm.
end at 3 in the morning, you're not supposed to start again until 3 in the afternoon. I don't know
Yeah.
how much that's actually done, or if there's working different crews to make sure that keeps going. But I don't know. Sometimes I think it can be done way more efficiently, because I was on set for a major picture, and I was on set probably a total of 4 hours, because I was doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for a catering company. So I wasn't actually on where they were shooting. But in that 4 hours,
Mhm.
they shot maybe 15 seconds worth of on screen footage.
Wow.
So it was making everybody do that jump again, do that stunt again, do that again, do that again. Let's do that like that scene again. Let's do it again. And he would do it. Like, I saw one stunt person, her job, the scene was she was running and I guess jumping off a building or something is what it was going to be, but it was all blue screen. So she was running on this thing, turning and shooting. They made that girl do that. I counted at least 25 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I don't think they need to be shot 25 times.
That's crazy.
I saw, but I think they definitely need better conditions for working in, from everything I've heard from people who are actually in the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I hope, for our non-union still shoots and stuff, that filters over, because
Yeah.
there's been so many shoots that I've been on where we've ended up doing 16-hour days, even 18-hour days. And looking back on it, being in the position I'm in, yeah, I can come a little bit later, leave a little bit earlier, but seeing my crews, that's just not fair to them.
Yeah. I haven't had any go that long. Usually when I tell my clients, hey, we're getting ready to go into overtime on my whole crew, they start picking up the pace a little bit. So they'll start slowing down. And then about 9 hours into it, I go, hey, we're an hour away from going into time and a half on everybody on my crew. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all right, let's go. We got to get this shot. So they start, yeah. But,
Yeah.
they're not huge. Those haven't been like huge budget shoots. They've been smaller budget shoots.
Yeah. I think what's tough is when you're outdoor on location and it's those long summer days.
Yes.
So your sunrise is at like 6 in the morning and your sunset isn't until 9 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to figure out how do you maximize your day and maximize your good light and deal with the fact that you have basically hours and hours of the middle of the day with the worst light.
Yeah. I had a shoot like that for Wrangler, and it rained most of the day. So we were shooting in between rain, but we started at 7 or 8 in the morning. Our last shot wasn't until 9:45, I think, that night.
Oh my
And
gosh.
because we were trying to shoot in between the rain, and the last shot was a fire pit shot, because the client thought, oh, it'll be great to shoot it late, when it's dark. And I was like, that's not so I mean, that took us forever because we had to light it from every direction possible to make sure that you could actually see people and everybody wasn't completely blurred. And it was the first time I shot a fire pit at night. And
Uh-huh.
I've learned that any client from now on, like, no, we're not shooting it. This isn't film. If I was shooting motion, then it would be a little bit different. But shooting stills, you
Totally.
can't shoot that slow that late.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's MacGyvering a lot of lighting.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only imagine.
Because you had to make it look real and didn't look like you're light. And we had a huge hedge in the background, so we're trying to make it so it didn't look like this light was just banging into this hedge on the background. We're trying to make it look
Oh
somewhat natural,
gosh.
and so it took a little while to get that tweaked because we had brought lights, but we had brought lights
Huh.
kind of just to fill in for the scrims or the sun or whatever. We weren't really bringing lights to shoot at 9:30 at night when it's pitch black. So
Yeah.
it definitely took a little bit of wrangling to make it happen, but it worked out. We got it shot.
That's good.
So it was good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds like it was probably a pretty fun shoot too.
it was good. Yeah. I did learn how to time the radar. I could look at the radar and go, all right, we got 10 minutes. And then once the rain stops, we got about another 10 minutes to shoot before the next little band comes in. So, felt like I could have been a
Oh my
weatherman at that point.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. But it worked
That's
out. Like I said, it
100%
worked
it.
out. We made it through it and it was okay.
That's good. That's
So
good.
when you started producing,
Hmm.
what do you remember, like what was your first bigger memorable shoot that you did?
Good question. The first projects that I was working on were actually 2K video games, which was a very good learning curve for CGI, which we ended up having to do a lot of during the pandemic.
Oh, I bet.
Um, so that was really interesting because our clients, we would get done rendering the newest video game character, and then we'd show it to our clients and they'd be like, oh, actually, like, we updated this character's armor overnight, like that's wrong now.
Oh,
Can you redo it for us? But we don't have any more money to put to this. And we'd be like, this is round 18
oh,
of this video game key art. It was one of the most bananas things I've ever worked on to this day. And it was my first project. It was like definitely trial by fire. I would say my most memorable, like, I think first shoot that I did though was with Alex Bernstein when he was just coming on to the scene, and we were doing these like crazy in between CGI, in between real shooting. It was code red, and the cars had to look like they were like combining the road and the mountain. And it was for
wow.
Lexus. And there was the real reason why I remember it is because we were in Angeles Forest, like Angeles Crest Road, and we had these really, really intense code red officers, which was good. But also there were so many crew, and there was this one super beefcake account person who ate 4 servings of dinner. So there was no dinner left for one of the crew members.
Ooh,
And so
wow.
I just remember that being like a moment of, okay, keep this in your brain for controlling how many people come to set and making sure that you order enough dinner, even if there's extras. Like, this is one time that there wasn't, and that was bad.
Yeah.
And just like the like always keeping control of all of the details, because like the code red went off without a hitch. The client loved all of the images. Everything came together really, really well. It was just like those small minor details that you always keep on clocking when you're on a job to make everything better continually, and making sure that you're taking care of every single person who's on the set from the bottom to the top, and then taking care of every single detail from the bidding process to the final delivery of the product.
There's a lot
Like,
to it.
there's a lot,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
like,
were you organized as a kid?
yes,
Yeah. So this has just been
yeah,
a thing with you?
my yes, my closet is rainbow ordered. My books are like very organized. As a kid, I was always that kid who like tried to coordinate my notebooks and my folders. And I got really, really into those agendas that they give you in middle school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like writing down all of my assignments and like things that were coming up, and like moving it moving your, like from week to week, moving the little thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's good for a producer.
Yeah,
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 because if you were like all over the place, you probably wouldn't make a very good producer.
I don't know. Maybe.
Man,
I
I think you got to be
don't
somewhat
I don't know
organized to be able
any,
to keep track of things.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know any other way to be.
This is good though. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I don't I just like having everything in a place and going back to those places to find it. I also have really bad eyesight, so I have a I have a fear that one day I'll wake up and there will be no glasses and no contacts in this world, and I'll have to navigate with my true eyesight. So I just keep everything organized so that way I can kind of navigate this world with what eyes I've been given.
Okay. Well, okay. I was gonna say that's
You
probably
know,
good, but I don't know. That sounds a little I don't know.
doomsday prepper,
Yeah,
maybe.
there that yeah, doomsday would probably be a proper thing. Yeah. You
Yeah,
just need multiple sets of pairs of glasses around just in case.
I do, but you know, that's not how irrational fears work.
Well, that's true. Yes. Yes, that is correct. So what's been your favorite shoot?
Oh, yeah. I think one of my favorite shoots was actually my last shoot that we did for Saatchi, because it was so much fun to piece it together. We were remote in Palo Alto. Our clients were remote, and there was no service, so we had a satellite truck. And our
Wow.
satellite truck was like 15 minutes away from where we were shooting. So it was a constant like game of running to the satellite truck, texting them and saying, okay, so we're 30 minutes out from an angle, because you know it's a 30-minute rounder to go
Right.
down to the set, find the angle, and then go back. And then going down to the set and being like, oh no, you already had the angle. Okay, let's grab the photographer, grab my creative, drive all the way back up to the satellite truck, text my people and be like, actually, we're ready now. And just like
Wow.
a constant ping ponging.
So you shooting like down
So
some like long, I mean, some place where you
just
obviously
like
you
this
couldn't get the satellite
huge,
truck, but you could get your car, but not the truck.
yeah, yeah. Well, because the redwood trees would block the signal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we were like shooting God rays on the vehicles through the trees, but then we needed the sat truck to be at the very top of the hill so it could get a clear signal. And it was just like, it was, the images that came out of it were gorgeous, but the kind of like math and planning that had to go into it was all a really interesting challenge. And that's what I really loved about it. It was just like a really fun planning challenge and having all of those conversations with different parties. And then also we were doing video and stills. And so we had, you know, obviously your video days are a very different method of capture and review than your stills days. And having that much diversity all encapsulated in one shooting scenario was just super fun.
How did you show the client what you were shooting? So did you have to shoot it down there and then bring it all back up to the satellite truck and then upload it so they could see it?
We would airdrop it to my phone, and then I'd airdrop it to my computer, and then we would go take it and I would share via Zoom for stills.
Right.
Like anybody who invested in Zoom pre-pandemic,
yeah,
you deserve all the money you probably got. And then for video days, we had a VTR on set. So then we would share live through VTR.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I was wondering how that all happened with you having to go back and forth. And I like that you call it God rays.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that term before, but I like it. Makes sense.
They just look like fingers of light coming down. Yeah. They're beautiful.
Was that just happen naturally, or are you pumping some smoke in there?
We had smoke. We had like 4 different methods of pumping smoke in. And the guy who was pumping smoke in was super cool. He had worked for George Lucas for a really long time.
Oh,
so he had stories for days. He was a really funny, chill guy. And he and I really connected on the Bachelor franchise.
On the what?
So, on the Bachelor franchise.
Yes. Y'all.
So we were talking about Bachelorette because it was Katie's season of the Bachelorette.
Did he work on the Bachelor, or y'all just both like it?
No, we just talked about it. We both like it.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to chat.
What were some of his George Lucas stories? You remember any good ones?
Just like all the different effects that they had to come up with, and me and I mostly talked about Bachelorette.
Yeah.
But he had worked for George Lucas for a really long time, and he talked about some of the like actual technology that they had to create, which was pretty interesting. But if you're pressing me on it, I actually don't remember the specifics anymore. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Now I feel like
it was mostly Bachelor, Bachelorette talk.
We did. Because every day he'd roll up and he'd be like, all right, I did some research. What intel do you have? He was a super fan. So we'd really go deep. And then we'd discuss like the outfit. We'd discuss the suits that the guys were wearing. Like it was some deep Bachelor and Bachelorette talk. I think he talked to more of the guys about his like days on Lucasfilms, but to me, he talked about the like VIP versus Bachelor versus Bachelorette, which ones were his favorite.
Oh wow.
Where are people now?
So have you been watching The Bachelor in Paradise?
Obviously.
I don't watch it. My wife is watching
tonight.
Yeah, my wife is watching it. Is tonight the finale?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it's just gonna be a shit show.
Yeah. I come in and out, like I go like into the bedroom and I watch whatever. And I came out, I guess she didn't finish watching it last week. So she was watching on Sunday, and I came out and heard some couple talking about how they were going to get married or something to each other, and that they came, and all I was saying was I don't know anything about it, but I know that you guys just met supposedly, and that's going to not go well, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing is just a farce. There's like, there's one couple that's like, no, we're totally going to make this work. You live in Canada. I live in the United States. We can't even really travel to see each other right now because of the pandemic, but it's going to be fine. And I'm like, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it because it's such a fun, great escape. Um, but yeah, on that job, the stat truck guy was actually really interesting too, because he was like telling us all of his Bitcoin and Dogecoin investments
Oh yeah.
and like giving us investment advice. And he looked like he had barely graduated high school. He was like,
Yeah.
this, yeah, he was like this tiny, you know, he looked super young and he was just like amazing.
Yeah, I was on the set
So,
I think week before last, and the models were talking about their investments in Bitcoin and crypto and whatever else. And they were all talking about how they did it. And there was one model who was talking about how he only invests in things with like a bunch of zeros in front of it, and he'll put like $50 into it. So when it goes up, he makes a lot more money, and he made like 20 grand off of something.
oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, uh, yeah, I invested in Doge and have done nothing but lose money since I didn't put a lot in it because somebody was talking about it. So I was like, oh, we'll put some money in Dogecoin. Yeah, I am down only like
Uh,
$7 or something, but yeah, I have not gained a dime on that thing.
oh my gosh.
I was like, hey, I
So
thought I was supposed to
funny.
hit and I was gonna be, I was gonna make 30 grand.
Right? Too funny. Right? Yeah. Well, Doge, like, it's because Elon Musk messed up Dogecoin by going
Yes.
on SNL.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you,
All
Elon.
that good. Thanks, Elon, for a bunch of stupid stuff.
I saw something where somebody asked him how his kid was, and they said the kid's name. And they're like, how is whatever that thing? And he goes, what? And like, how's, he goes, oh, my kid. He said, I thought that was like a password. I
Oh my God. He is truly
think
a,
they made him, the state or whatever, made him change that kid's name to something that was a real name because they said
I
that
hope
can't be a
so.
real name. It has to, you have to have something that's actual letters that we can pronounce as
Yeah.
opposed to whatever the hell that was.
I think they may have changed it to just X.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It just like I think he's truly he does some good things, but I think he is not a great person. He's a
He's
lot of ego.
he's definitely strange as hell. He's got a lot more
Yeah.
hair now than he had 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Good for
saw.
him getting hair plugs. You
Yeah.
know what? Live your life.
I had a client one time, speaking of this kid, maybe named X. I don't know what his kid's name is. Maybe it is. I had a client one time wrote me a check and signed it with a big X. And my first thought was, I just got screwed because she mailed it to me. And I thought, well, I just got screwed on that. I'm not. But that was her signature. It was literally just an
Oh,
X.
huh.
Wasn't her name,
That
but
just
yeah.
huh. It just reminds me of Santa Baby where she says, sign your X on the line.
So what
Fill my
was it?
stocking. Well, one of the lines in Santa Baby is fill my stocking with the duplex and checks and sign your X on the
Oh,
line.
yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. My first thing was I went to the
Yeah.
movie and I was like, I don't remember the movie Santa Baby. And then I was like, okay, it's the song. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Now I got it. Now I understand. I remember that part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me what's
Apparently
the,
I'm ready for Christmas.
yeah, well, I'm kind of ready, but not really.
I don't know.
Kind of
No.
thing. Yeah. I'd like for Christmas to be here, but I don't want it to be here. Like the end of the
Yeah.
year, be here yet. Not ready for that
Yeah.
yet.
Maybe just Christmas lights.
Yeah.
I like the Halloween decorations that are coming up.
I do too. I like Halloween. Halloween's probably my favorite holiday because it's the one I don't have to worry about getting together with anybody if I don't want to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's very low stakes. I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So you've been art producer and integrated producer. What's the difference between the two? Anything or just a name?
Um, Good question. Integrated producer, I do video as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I like that the integrated producer title encapsulates more than more skill sets, because I think art producer can kind of get shoehorned into you just produce photography shoots, and
Right.
you know, as producers these days, we're tasked with doing social, we're tasked with doing CGI, we're tasked with doing video. We have to be more well-rounded than ever before. And so I think the integrated producer title is a lot more fitting.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. How much do you do that's video and stills? Is that pretty much everything now, or is it separated out?
At my previous agency, we did a lot more integrated productions. This one, video and stills are still kind of siloed in different productions, but they're working to integrate them more and more and more. And so
Yeah.
I think that's kind of part of the reason why I'm joining the team. And so I'm really excited to be a part of that sea change.
Yeah. How often, if you're shooting stills and motion video at the same time, how often do you hire one person to do both, or do you mostly hire a team to just do the video and a team to just do the stills?
It depends on the creative for the shoot and the budget and a whole host of factors. So it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
I'd say it's kind of it's very dependent upon what's driving a bunch of different drivers,
Right.
I'd say. But usually it's creatively driven, whether or not we move towards different director versus photographer, or we combine and get a photographer director.
Yeah. Okay. I've started doing more of that now, but it's usually on the smaller budget stuff where they just need something for social. I'll shoot stills, and then we'll go and I'll direct the motion part, and we shoot some kind of motion. It's mainly for some kind of small website, something, or it's for, like I said, it's for social media. And but the last big thing I did was I just shot stills. Like, they had a whole separate video crew, and then I just shot the stills behind the video crew. But
Gotcha.
I enjoy both. I think they're both fun. I was probably 2 classes away from a degree in broadcast production in college, because we were doing a lot of video, but it's changed so much since then. It's not even the same beast as it was when I graduated.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's interesting to see how everything's changing so rapidly.
Oh yeah.
You know, people are shooting on so much stuff on their iPhone now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I've even combined
crazy
stuff from bigger cameras, basically the DSLR's video, and then an iPhone video, and put them into the same thing. And you can't really, I mean, if you're shooting it for the web, posting on the web, you can't tell a difference in it. Not much anyway, unless you're really looking for it.
Yeah, it's bananas.
I'm interested. I'm getting an iPhone 13, so I'm interested in seeing what that's going to be like.
Oh, cool. Obviously the Pro.
Yeah, obviously. Yes. Yeah. I get them like
color?
every third time, because I have the 10S or whatever, XS, but I probably could have waited, but I love the number 13. I was born on Friday the 13th, engaged on Friday the 13th, married on Saturday the 13th. So I was like, all right, it's the 13th. I got to get the 13.
You got to do it. 13's your lucky number.
Yeah. So I'll get the 13 Pro. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh. What color did you pick out?
I picked out, I don't know, it's like some blue color. I think it's my daughter's going to Chapel Hill. My youngest has started going to UNC Chapel Hill, and they're Carolina blue. So I went with this blue. My one now is gold, like rose gold or something. Because I wanted the black, but that's all they had left. And I was getting ready to go to Budapest, and I was like, I'm putting a case on anyway. Just give me the damn rose gold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I have the all black one now, but I'm like, you can't even tell what color my phone is because I have this case on it that's like a lava lamp with glitter.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Does it work?
Let
Can you
me,
turn it up and down?
yes,
All right,
let me
show it.
tell
Oh,
you.
you're on it. No, you can't show me.
Oh, here, I'll show you. Just give me 2 seconds and
Yeah.
let me not
Yeah, because mine's
destroy
all
my
black.
phone in the process. Okay, so
Oh,
this is the case.
wow. Okay,
I'm
that's
telling
cool.
you, if you ever need to like de-stress, this case is the one. Anytime I'm on set and like
That's
I
cool.
just start playing with it
I bet.
randomly, people come up to me on set and they'll be like, hey, can I just like play with your phone case? I'm a little bit stressed.
Wow.
It is like, it is a hot topic.
I bet it is. Where'd you get that?
This is the best. Amazon.
Of course.
Thanks, Jeff Bezos. Listen, we can cover the two worst people, Jeff Bezos and
We
Elon
can
Musk.
get to
in
Jeff
this one
Bezos
time.
next. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, his rocket, I was really disappointed that he didn't have like Jeff's rocket painted on the side of that because it looked so much like a penis. I thought for sure he's going to put his name on it someplace.
Right? Oh my gosh. The entire time I was just like, oh, your real penis is so small.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. You built a big one.
I did think it was a little harsh. He was like to the employees, you guys keep working hard so I can buy another one. These things are expensive. I'm like, dude. Because when I hadn't heard that's what he said, because I was on set and somebody was talking about how he was a piece of shit or something. I said, why is that any different from Virgin? I'm just blanked out on his name. The guy from Virgin Records.
That guy, yeah, that guy is not great either.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember. I don't know why I'm totally blanking out on his name. But anyway, I was like, what's the difference between him? He went up and did the same thing. Like, yeah, well, Jeff Bezos just said, thank you, Amazon employees, keep working hard so I can buy another one. I was like, okay, well, then I guess that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. It's just so bad and weird. Because doesn't Bezos have a yacht for his helicopter?
I don't know. Wow, does he? That wouldn't surprise me.
His first yacht doesn't have a helicopter landing pad. So then they got a second yacht that has a helicopter landing pad, and then they dock the two yachts next to each other.
Oh, well, we have to. What else are you gonna do when you fly in? I actually
you can't get rid of the first yacht.
I did a shoot on the backup yacht of the guy who is the heir to the Chiquita banana fortune. He's like 40 something years old. It was his backup yacht because he was staying on his main yacht while his house was being built on some island that he had just bought. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. 40 something years old.
Sure. Makes sense.
Like, well, I see why you have to have a backup yacht. It's like for me, it's like having two cameras because if one stops working, you have to have the other one.
Well, right. Or if like the staff, something goes wrong with the staff on one of them, you have to, you have your backup staff.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what? At that point, it's just common sense.
It is. I totally agree. Because I mean,
yeah.
If you haven't thought that far out, you don't deserve the money anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's like having a backup pair of Gucci penny loafers. Like have several.
Have four.
Yeah.
Can't wear them every day of the work week, but I figure at least one day I'll take off and wear, something peasant like my Nikes or something.
Yeah. Well, I only wear the Christian Dior X Nikes.
Well,
that have Swarovski crystals. And
I've not seen those.
I'm making them up. I don't know if they exist.
I did just see I think it's a $3,000 pair of Ray-Bans. Aviators. because they are 18 karat gold.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will still lose them at an
Yes.
airport or in an Uber or scratch them when I drop them off of my t-shirt. So I will not be purchasing those.
Yeah, because I'm looking for new glasses because I keep them here, and when I lean over, they will fall. And I've scratched the hell out of them, so I'm trying to find some new glasses. And I got an ad for Ray-Bans or something, or Sunglass Hut. So I pulled it open, and the first thing was these $3,000 Ray-Bans. Like, of course, why not?
Can't do it. Can't do it. I refuse to spend more than $20 on a pair of sunglasses because I lose them, destroy them. Like,
I saw that Jamie Foxx has a brand out for like $40. He has.
Oh
sunglasses.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll look into
I heard
those.
of this. I can't remember what they're called. So if you remember, let me know.
I think I sent myself an email with it. Here I did. They are Privé Revo, PRIVE with a little and the REVAUX.
Oh,
yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, and they're $40.
Anything with a French sounding name automatically sounds more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are those Ray-Bans? Of course they're not Ray-Bans. These are Privé Revo. And then
exactly. Right?
Yes. Very nice.
It's this French brand you've never heard of.
Right. Do you shoot mostly cars? Is that your thing, automobiles?
Yes, I've been trying to expand, but yeah, I've been working in cars since I started, really. So I didn't seek out cars found me.
Where's the coolest place you get to go shoot a car? Because those are all like cool locations.
Yeah. I mean, because of budgets, a lot of times it happens in and around Los Angeles, but we've also shot in Texas and in Nashville, and did that shoot over in Palo Alto, which is cool. A lot of like fun racetracks, like Circuit of the Americas.
Wow.
And yeah, budgets have been what they've been, so
yeah,
we haven't like gone international. I haven't gone international for a while, but been creating international looks with
international
domestic
looks
destinations. Yeah.
I was gonna say, how much CGI are you guys doing?
I mean, we've been, pandemic has made it so that we were doing almost 100% CGI for the past little bit, but on average, it's like very little CGI. You pretty much only default to CGI if you have to CGI update the car because the actual model isn't available, or if there's just like product incorrect pieces on the car that is available, so then you CGI update it, or if there's like no money to do a shoot, and so between model year changeovers, you just CGI update images that are already existing, which that's always fun and interesting, and it's a different process, and it's cool to see final data come in or figure out what's missing within the draft data and go throughout that entire process. And we've built CGI environments from the ground up, and then built the CGI car, added human elements to it, done stills and videos within the environments we built. So it's a really interesting process, and there's a lot that can be done within that. You just have to have the time and the budget.
Yeah, I can see that taking a little bit of time for sure.
Yeah,
to build that out.
Exactly.
So tell me about what is it? I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Is it Pony, Poni?
Pony. Oh, that was a
Are
really
you still
fun
doing that?
project that I wish. That was a fun project that I did back in my LA days with my friend Nicola. And it was just doing crafts and getting people out there making things with their hands again.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
so, yeah, we just had a lot of fun making things and creating things and getting people crafting again. She's kind of moved on to doing a few other things with Pony, and then I moved to Texas. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be a fun little thing to work on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I miss it. I'd love to work on it again, but haven't had the chance.
Yeah. Have you still
So,
been I saw you
yeah.
said you like to curate your office spaces when you're actually in the office. Are you still doing that when you're actually at work and in an office?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you work that out ahead of time before you go to somebody? It's like, hey, I'll come work for you, but I want to be able to do this.
No, that's something I usually uh talk talk to them once I get into the office space. So it's it's fun, it's creating opportunities for people to get together and get inspired and talk about art, learn about new artists, and for me to continue to grow and shape my own tastes along with grow and shape my network. So
I
I
think it's smart.
I
I think it's
loved it.
good because especially from what I've seen is there's not a whole lot of space for art producers and art directors and creative directors anymore. That's they don't have a lot of room to put up stuff and keep stuff from photographers
Yeah.
or right. So if you do something like that, it's probably cool because I think going there, oh, I like that. That would be great for this project, or just I like that. And it's inspiring a little bit. So that's cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely my passion project. And I even tried to do like home away from home version when the pandemic first hit with Nick Simonite, and we like created these postcards, and some of them had stamps and some of them didn't have stamps, and so it was to like share his work and send it out um, to people, and it was kind of like a opt-in opportunity, and it was super cool. So tried to do one of those like pandemic galleries, but yeah, haven't done anything since. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But that's cool that you kept
Hmm.
trying to do it at first, because
Hmm.
but then yeah, I see how it would kind of get a little tiring and on top of all the other stuff you have to do with the pandemic and everything else.
Yeah. Well, and it was more yeah, I didn't want to continue to ask people to contribute on top. Like, I think we all thought the pandemic was going to be a lot shorter than it
Oh yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And so the
I
longer
thought
that
two
it
and a
wore
half
on,
weeks, maybe.
right? The
Yeah.
longer that it wore on, the less inclined I was to ask people for favors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been doing
So,
this about an hour, so I'm going to ask you the last question and I'll let you go. What is
all
the
right.
strangest, craziest, or most unusual thing that's happened to you? Something where you just kind of like, wow, I can't believe that happened, or that's nobody's going to believe them when I tell them this story.
Oh, wow. I think the craziest thing that happened was we were on a snow shoot. This was a few years ago, but we were on a snow shoot, and literally 30, like the site rep had kind of told us, it's melting a little bit. You should maybe watch for boulders. one of our assistants wasn't feeling the greatest. So we were like, stop moving around the snow, go on boulder watch. Not 30 seconds later, a 300-pound boulder starts rolling down the mountain,
Oh,
making a beeline for our photographer, the camera on a tripod, and the hero car.
oh, wow.
It hits 2 out of the 3.
Which
it hits
2?
the camera on the tripod and the car.
Oh, well, thank God one of the photographer at least.
Exactly. But he was like definitely trying to like quickly grab the camera. And then we were
Yeah.
like, no, boulder, boulder, boulder. Like, Oscar, get out of the way. And also thank the Lord that our client and our account person had walked up to set 2 minutes before this happened, because otherwise we would have had to be like, so a boulder hit the camera and our car, and explained it to them, but like they were there to witness it. It was all just like, thank God all of these pieces, like the worst thing ever happened, but like everybody who needed to see it happen was there. Magically, the camera was okay.
Wow.
The tripod was shot, and the car, the whole entire bumper fell off, but our car prep people were amazing, and they just like put it all the way back on. You could only see a tiny little dent, and because we were shooting stills,
Yeah.
you
Not a
just
big deal.
retouched it out. Yeah. So like
Wow.
we all took an hour break
I
because
bet.
we were like, oh yeah, every single person needs to reset.
Yes. God.
Like everybody calms their nerves in whatever way they needed to. There was a lot of tea being drunk. And then we kind of just like had a powwow together, and we got we went and shot I think we had 2 more shots that day. We got them very quickly, and then we went back to the hotel and ate dinner, and that was that day. It was the craziest day on
Wow.
set I've ever had.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
That
I've
was
never even heard of boulder watch.
bananas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where
So
were you
that was
shooting
my
that?
most bananas day. That was up close to where is it that you go skiing in Colorado or in California?
In California? Not sure. It's all right. It was
Yeah.
in California.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
it
nuts.
was bananas.
How far were you from the boulder?
I was down from it not that far. I think like at the end, 15 feet. Like we were all not that far.
Yeah, wow. That's, yeah. Holy shit. God.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
that's an interesting story. That's, yeah. Yeah, that was good. Okay, I have a lot. I do have one question. Your watch.
Oh yeah.
Is that a wood band? Or is that
No.
leather? Okay, I can't tell.
It's
Okay, it's leather.
plastic.
Okay. All right. I
It's
thought it was one of
plastic.
those was like had the wood band on it.
No, it's just plastic
Oh, it's plastic.
resin.
Okay, yeah. I like it though.
Yeah, it's a Garmin watch because what is it doing? I don't know what it's doing right now. Oh, I guess it went to a different watch face, but yeah, it's a Garmin watch because I didn't want a square one.
Yeah. I like the round.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Katie, thank you so much. This was cool.
Thank you. This was so fun chatting.
Yeah, I
Love
enjoyed it.
connecting and chatting and all the things.
Yeah. And we talked about all kinds of stuff. So I like it.
I know. Me too.
Good.